good morning or evening or afternoon, or are there any other times to say good night? I don't think it's the middle of the night for anybody that's mentioned it. But hello, everyone. I hope you're well. I hope you had lovely weekends. You're all lovely and chatty in the chat, which is nice. Hello to everybody watching on catch up as well. I hope you're all right. You're discussing lockdown. I know I'm finding this one harder. I think I was chatting to some teacher friends last week, and they were saying they were finding it really hard because it felt like there was a lockdown happening, but they still had to go to work. And it was really hard. And I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, except for the complete opposite. Like, I feel like all my work's been taken away, but most of the world is still carrying on. Like, this sort of half and half is really difficult, I think. But hello, everybody. That doesn't matter here. Lockdown is irrelevant here. I've had a bath this evening. I feel great. Got all my work done really early, and Tom had D&D tonight. So I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm going to read my book in the bath. Reading a really good book. I can't remember what it's called now, but when I've finished it, I'll recommend it to you. Chris Bubbles. No, I haven't. Oh, I've got something stuck in my mouth. Sorry, everyone. Hang on. I think it's a Mackie hair, because we've been cuddling. I haven't got any bubble bath because I don't have baths very often. And obviously we're on a really tight budget at the moment because of not having jobs. Every time I sort of go to the shop and I look at the Radox and I think, oh, I should get some bubble bath. That would be really nice. And then I think, no, it's not necessary. So I just had a squirt of shower gel in there, which kind of worked. It was all right. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm really, really sorry to hear about you losing a friend to COVID. It's impossible, isn't it? Like, I think I have sympathy, oddly. I often don't. I have sympathy with the people not taking it seriously because I don't feel like the instructions from the government are. Anyway, I don't want to get into this. Like, it's not that I'm not taking it seriously, but I can see why you'd be frustrated because I don't think anybody's handling it very well, and I think, like, because there's nothing you can't kick out against a virus, you can't punish the virus, and the way people know to kick out is to kick out against the rules they've been given, and then that doesn't help. That just puts them in danger, and it puts other people in danger, and it's selfish, and it's rude. Ugh. Anyway, can you specify that your next coffee goes to me buying bubble bath, please? Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, you get. I absolutely promise if I get another coffee donation, I will buy myself some bubble bath. Stop being such a tight bitch. I'm so naturally frugal, though. It's so funny because I've never had money in my life. Like, I grew up like, I was one of four. Like, I'm not a sob story by any sort of, I didn't have it hard, a lot of people, but I grew up where money was always real budgety. And then, like, my teenage years always like, what? It's literally £1 a bottle, Jeff. It's not that much. It's just I'm so naturally frugal because the last 3 years are about the only years of my life where I've had disposable income. So it's taken me a really long time to get to the point where I've seen something I want and gone, well, yeah, there's no reason why you can't have that. You've saved some this month. You've paid for all the essentials. Have a little thing if you want it. And so because, like, I'm just not used to living like that, and now going back to being frugal, I'm really good at it. I just, nope, can't have it. Nope, can't have it. I'm so naturally prepped to be budget-tastic. So I hope bath bombs for Crimbo, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Lush, my favourite shop for anybody that saw my live at the Apollo appearance. Now, has John come back with his cup of tea? Because I've done the rant now. Still got something stuck in my mouth. What is that? Do you know what? Earlier on, I'm feeling a bit gloomy this evening. I'm really looking forward to this because I'm quite enjoying the new story, and I've been, and like, it's nice having new faces and all my old faces, and well, not that your faces, but I kind of imagine what you look like. Those of you that don't have pictures, I'm rambling, aren't I? But I'm feeling really gloomy this evening because I saw a thing of somebody that I really like, a comedian who was on a show that I've never been on and would like to be on. And I immediately got that, like, professional jealousy in the back of my throat, like, ooh, where's that person on there? I want to do that. And then just then, when I was on my YouTube stream talking to lovely people, fishing a dog hair out of my mouth, I realised why I'm not on those shows, but other people but I'd rather be here. And I'm sort of zenning myself to go, Laura, professional jealousy does you no good. Focus. Focus. You've just had a row with your teenage son. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that sounds impossible. Oh yeah. I hate arguing. Do you hate arguing? I do. I can't do John says there's cat hairs everywhere here too. Yeah, Mackie's really molting at the moment, and it feels like the wrong time of year for this. I don't know, like we haven't got the heating up that high, babe, but I think it's her puppy fur coming out and her adult fur's coming in. So there's just white fur. The other day she'd been asleep in a little circle on the sofa, and then when she got off there was just a perfect white circle of hair left where she was, because we have a black sofa. Chris has got a snoring cat too. It's very wet in Wellington. It's wet here too, Georgina, not too dissimilar. New Zealand and Britain very similar, except that you have an economy, a decent prime minister, and your freedom, but and no virus. But other than that, they're very similar. Very similar. Right, we should get on to the story. Now we've done John's bit. So you voted for what Kate did for a living, which didn't have too many. I just had some ideas for what she could do for a living, and that was going to shape roughly who she was. You picked the IT technician. So that's where we find ourselves in this chapter, and I'm buzzing for your vote at the end of this one. It's got big ramifications, or what are they? Raminifications this time, noodlecations. It's got big noodlecations. So let's get ITing. Chapter 3. Kate busied the call and carried on typing. Now, here's a question. Do the text messages get read in the accent of the texter? Yes? I feel like they probably do. You're going to say yes, I think. Let's do that then. Right. Yes. Okay. Artworld, Maria, and Catherine and Ben all emphatically yes. Mystic's in with a yes. Kevin's in with a yes. Okay. All right. I get it. Yes. Okay. Chapter 3. Kate busied the call and carried. That's just my notifications. It's just yes, screaming up. Okay. I'll do it, guys. Kate busied the call and carried on typing. Oh, Sarah suggests, I will read the chapter in a second. I'm so sorry for everybody that's rolling their eyes like, bitch, get to the story. But you know what? If you want the story without this waffling, it's on my blog. Just go and read it there. And also, why are you so boring? I could do a robot voice. I can't do a Welsh and robot, though. Well, why does your date get precedent over mine? You two are already married. This could be my one chance at happiness. XOXO. She passed the cigarette back to Aaron and busied another call as a reply from Polly came through. Don't be ridiculous. If he is the one for you, then he'll understand family commitments, especially after everything we've done for you. Kate rolled her eyes, took the cigarette back and busied another call. She shifted her bum cheeks on the cold concrete steps. They were getting that chilled, weirdly itchy feeling that's unique to bum cheeks left too long on a surface not designed for bum cheeks. Oh, we need an accent. We've got a new character. What accent do we want? Oh, Lady Frag already wants to stop smoking. I wasn't sure how that would go down with you guys. I need an accent. Dutch, Scottish. Let's go. Oh, Spanish was in first. Let's do Spanish. Okay, yeah. I'm from Spain. No, it's not Spanish, is it? New people that have not watched the previous stories, this is the bit where accidents, yes, that's what my accent should be called. Accidents. Verbal accidents. Shouldn't you be answer? I'm gonna channel Antonio Banderas and Evita. That's sort of Spanish, isn't it? Zorro. I am Zorro. Okay. Shouldn't you be answering that? Okay, now he sounds like he's very sexy. He's meant to be sort of 18 and not very sexy. Shouldn't you be answering that? Asked Aaron, and Kate looked over at him. Oh, probably. It'll just be Ron Redford. Philosophy, isn't he? Asked Aaron, scratching the beard he was intensely proud of, but that was actually barely distinguishable from the rest of his face. Yeah, said Kate, stubbing the cigarette out under her shoe. He knows all about the universe, but has no idea how to switch on a printer. Who is still printing things in this day and age? Aaron looked like Kate had suggested he do his homework in hieroglyphics. Exactly, Kate rolled her eyes again, glad that at least one of her body parts was getting exercise today. The gym had failed to beckon her out of the nice, warm, cosy bed that morning. In fact, so had work. She had snuck into the university well past the time she was supposed to have been at her desk. Luckily, no one seemed to notice or care what she got up to, and that was the main reason Kate stayed in the job. I installed him a digital whiteboard like everyone else has, and he immediately wrote all over it in permanent marker. Damn, said Aaron, sighing. I think he did it on purpose, too. We don't stock those markers. We stock wipables. He has to have gone out and bought them specifically to ruin it, so he doesn't have to learn how to use it. Old people are weird. Aaron nodded sagely. Yeah, said Kate. Then realised Aaron probably thought of her as old too. But she was cool old, wasn't she? How many other members of staff snuck into stairwells to share cigarettes with students? None. Actually, did that make her cool or a mess? The question made Kate think she should probably get up and get on with her day. See you tomorrow, yeah? Aaron's eyes were friendly, but Kate largely suspected he kept up the pretense of friendship rather because of her supply of cigarettes. Yeah, I expect so, she sighed, having long since given up on the idea that by tomorrow she wouldn't be a smoker. She pushed the heavy fire door open and finally answered the call that was barking at her. Kate Wilcox speaking. Oh, we need another accent. Now, I've pictured this as being very English, but I am stereotyping. So if you have an upgrade on very English, we can go with it now, like RP English, that kind of thing. Newcastle. Oh no, trying to roll between Welsh and Newcastle. Yes, thank you, Lady Frag. Bristol, West Country posh. Okay, so there's two sort of posh old git. Yeah, okay, I'm going to stick with my original gut, which is how I've written him. Okay, thanks, everyone. Kate Wilcox speaking. Right, she's on the phone, so I'll do some acting, shall I? Kate Wilcox speaking. Kate, there you are. Listen, I don't know what's wrong with this damn printer, but I'll be right there, Professor Redford. Kate stifled a yawn. It's Professor Red. Oh, yes, quite. Okay, please hurry. I only have a few minutes of this lesson left, and I haven't even been able to hand out the worksheets yet. If you would, don't you dare say the words white or board to me, Mrs. Wilcox. Ms. Wilcox. The phone went dead, and Kate stood in the middle of the campus staring at her phone. It's Professor Wilcox, actually, she mumbled to her phone. Except it wasn't, was it? That was her mother. And her father. And Polly, not that she used the title. She preferred Mrs. Kate had used Ms for a while in an attempt to live up to her feminist ideals and for an air of mystery, but had recently reverted to Miss, and a total betrayal of womankind because she felt like maybe Miss made her sound younger. She dragged her feet heavily across the campus to the philosophy department. Philosophy. Couldn't quite get my lips and teeth into that word there, could I? She dragged her feet heavily across the campus to the philosophy department and up the stairs towards Professor Redford's class. She was about to knock on the door when it opened in front of her, and all the students came bundling out, bringing the stale air with them in their excitement to be gone. 9K for that, an exasperated voice was saying as she stretched her arms and wiped sleep out of her eyes. Kate patiently waited for them to leave and then hustled into the classroom. Afternoon, she said brightly. Where's this printer then? Ron Redford looked furiously at her from underneath enormous eyebrows. He was a cartoon of a man, as if, when planning the universe, and more specifically Ron Redford, God had said to his second-in-command, You have 30 seconds to draw a philosophy professor. Go! And had then used the very first unimaginative sketches Angel had sketched out. Well, there's very little point in me printing out worksheets if I have no students to hand them out to, is there? Ron Redford gestured dramatically at his empty classroom. Kate tucked her temper between her top lip and bottom teeth and smiled tightly back at his anger. I'm sure you'd like it working for your next class, though, wouldn't you? She said sweetly. If it makes you feel like your life has a purpose, you may fix it, Redford muttered angrily. The cursed thing is over there, being belligerent. Kate headed over to the printer. If it had been a pet, it would have been whimpering in the corner, begging Kate to rescue it and take it to a kinder place to live. She looked it over. No sign of life in it at all. Feeling behind it, she found the lead and ran her hand all along it until... "Ah, there's your problem," she said, unsurprised at her findings. "Can you fix it by tomorrow?" "It's not so much of a fix as..."
"Oh, for goodness sake! What's it going to need? A week's R&R? A new type of ink? I swear on my life I've never printed anything in magenta in my entire life."
He stared furiously at Kate, black eyes beetling out from under their shaggy pergolas. "It just needs plugging in," said Kate in a small, tired voice. She pushed the plug into the wall, flicked on 2 buttons, and listened for the mechanical whirring of the printer firing up. Worksheets began spilling out one after another almost immediately. Professor Redford looked apoplectic.
"You said it was wireless! Wireless, you said!"
His arms were flailing wildly. Kate was a little worried he might need a lie down. His job couldn't possibly be as stressful as his temperament made out, could it? "It's wireless from the computer, but it still needs to be plugged in and switched on. I'll make you an instruction sheet."
"Laminate it,"
were the only further words out of Professor Redford's mouth as he slammed out of the room, leaving Kate standing silently next to the printer and 200 useless worksheets. There you go, chapter 3. So she works at the university, where she's a bit of a bum, isn't she? She's not living life to her potential. For those of you that were here for adventure number 1, I wanted to make sure she wasn't going to just end up being like Emma. You know, I don't want her to be like, she's together but scatty. She's got to be different. So you have a chance to shape her life now. An event is going to happen at some point in Kate's life. And it's up to you guys to decide when said event happened. Would you like aged 12, aged 18, aged 28, or aged 31? Those are your options for when an event happened. 12, 18, 28, or 31. Those are your options. I'm not telling you how old she is now. You choose an age, and that will have... I'm not telling you. Look at you all in. Look at you all. How old is she now? Nope, not telling you. Those are your options. You can vote until sort of late afternoon tomorrow. So if you're watching this on catch up and it's before late afternoon on Tuesday, the 10th of November, bung an option in the chat underneath the video. If you could give it a thumbs up too, that would be lovely. And I will share the link on Twitter. So if you could give that a like or a retweet, whatever you want to do there, that would be swell too. And I'll see you tomorrow, 10 p.m. tomorrow evening, for your next chapter, where we find out what age the life event happened and what effect that had on her. Some will be good, some will be bad. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks very much for joining in, and hope you have a lovely day, if it is that day, or a sleep and then a day, however it works, wherever you are. But I'll see you 10 p.m. Bye.